BobeBlaze back again with another edition of these lores, the story time, whatever we're gonna call it. You know what I'm saying? Just some lore like we've been talking about. I know you guys have saw the previous video. In this one here, I'll be talking about my first ever gathering of the Juggalos. For those of you who are familiar with the gathering lore, 2002 was a really big gathering of the Juggalos. All of them are special in their own way. I just happened to go to my first one at one of the ones that was big for multiple reasons. A lot of things happened during that gathering. I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight, just some of my experiences, some of my stories. Obviously, I don't really remember every fucking detail because it was 2002, you know what I'm saying? So obviously I don't remember every detail. It was 23 years ago. But I do remember a lot of the shit that has stuck with me, through all these years and shit, you know what I'm saying? So tonight I'll talk a little bit about it. I was 15 years old at my first gathering of the Juggalos that summer. To get enough money to be able to go, I painted this shed, and I got enough money to go, and I was able then to convince my mom to have my sister take me and my homie Frankie down to Peoria, Illinois. My mom got my sister, and she took a friend with her. She got them a hotel that was a little bit outside of Peoria, and we shot down there in my mom's minivan. Really, even to now, Peoria might have been the closest we've had to drive to a gathering. Maybe when it was in Indiana we did, maybe it was a little bit shorter. I really can't remember how far the distance was when we went to Indiana as opposed to how far Peoria, Illinois is, but it's basically like the same thing. Peoria might have actually been the closest gathering that we've had to ever drive to, you know what I'm saying? What's crazy though, yeah, we drove down there. We drove down there in my mom's minivan. And I remember leaving, seeing the spare tire, just not even thinking anything of it. But sure as shit, we had a blowout probably about 45 minutes away from where the gathering was at, Peoria Civic Center. So we had a tire blowout. If you're familiar with MUJ lore, there's two tire blowout stories for the gathering of the Juggalos. One came, way later or whatever. But, we had a tire blowout, and we were on the side of the road. And for real, man, just like mad Juggalos stopped. My mom was really fresh, and she let me put a Hatchet Man in her car, upper left. And we had a red Hatchet Man in my mom's minivan or whatever. So mad Juggalos had stopped. One of those being the homie that I ended up meeting again in the future at another gathering. And then further along in the future, some of you guys might know him as Red Wolf. He's a Juggalo from fucking Hammond, Indiana. He goes to a lot of shows in Chicago. You've probably seen him out and about, you know what I'm saying? Even seen him at gatherings and shit. Red Wolf stopped and was one of the people that offered, to try to get us a tire or let us use their spare tire. It was some other ninjas that ended up stopping, and at that point, time was getting closer. We had gotten a hold of a tow, but it could be like 3 hours or a tire. It was gonna be like 3 hours or whatever through insurance or some shit. So these other Juggalos stopped and were like, we can give you guys a ride if you're cool with that, you know what I'm saying? So my sister was like, all right, I guess, So we jumped in this car with these Juggalos, and they took us the rest of the way there. That was fresh though too. I mean, I don't know, that kind of goes on and on. This was my first gathering. This wasn't my first show. At this point, I probably already went to 3 or 4 shows. But this is my first gathering. So everything that I've seen at shows really changed at the gathering of, I don't know, family. I'll talk about that more as talk about this weekend, because really this is when the family era kind of began, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, after this gathering, I just looked at what Juggalos and being a Juggalo was. I looked at it completely different, I think, after this gathering. And like I said, I already seen a couple of tours leading up to this. I already seen a couple of shows or whatever. this is my first gathering. I'd only heard stories up until this point, so it really, I don't know, going through it definitely changed. I know on the first day, Friday, it was like July 19th. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, just 3 days back then too, so the 19th to the 21st. But I remember like just being in there, like ICP had been in hiding for 8 months leading up to this gathering, so hadn't been seen since sometime in 2001, and they had disappeared, went into hiding, locked in to, you know, record the 6 Jokers card, the Wraith. No one knew that at that time. But you know, they'd been gone, they'd been in hiding or whatever, and I'm not even sure exactly what we were like. We were just walking around the convention, like the main convention room then, and ICP came in, and just having not seen them in 8 months and how they look now was insane. You know, Shaggy Two Dope had walked by first, and you know, he had his long fucking dreads, completely different face paint, you know what I'm saying, looked crazy as hell. And then Jay comes in looking skinnier, neck tattoos, full fucking different face paint, you know what I'm saying, different hair, shit just looked completely fucking different. It was dope as fuck. I just happened to be like walking right up there by the time that Jay was walking by, and like got a dap up and shit. And I like, I don't know, bro, 15 years old, like first time being that fucking close to ICP, and then, you know, them looking completely different was crazy as hell. And later throughout that day, they were gonna do ICP seminar. So me and my homie Frankie that I was there with, we went up to where it was it was a small convention room. It wasn't really big or whatever. It wasn't big at all. Like, you know, what you've seen later on the DVD, that wasn't this seminar. I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be 3 ICP seminars throughout the weekend, maybe just the 2. I know Violent J was going to do a Violent J book seminar that year, and that didn't happen. There was some, you know, so I'm not sure if there was supposed to be 3 ICP seminars that year, but I did get to go to the first one. It was crazy as fuck, you know. Like, again, my first time being around this many fucking Juggalos, you know, and we were waiting in line for the seminar. We were upstairs. You could through these windows, you could like overlook down into the seminar, the gathering and shit. But we were standing in line upstairs, and we started talking to these people in line, you know, these Juggalos in line, and it was different, man. Like I said, I'll keep saying that throughout this as I'm talking throughout this, but like we were talking in line to just about wrestling to some fucking nerds, you know, to some nerds. Like, we were fucking nerds, they were fucking nerds, you know what I'm saying? We were talking to some nerds, and in my head I'm thinking like, yo, like, outside of this Juggalo shit, we probably wouldn't have, I wouldn't have went up to these dudes and like, yo, what's up, homies, blah blah, let's chop it up or whatever. We were waiting with these ninjas. They were totally different kind of Juggalos than me and my homies are or were, you know what I'm saying? And we sat there and we talked to these Juggalos for like 2.5, 3 fucking hours, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. Thinking in my head, like, you know, like, we were like fucking like hood ass fucking nerd Juggalos, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like thug Juggalos, you know, like, but still into like, we still were into like wrestling and shit. So we were talking with these Juggalos who were like nerdy fucking good student wrestling fan Juggalos, you know what I'm saying? And we sat in line and talked with them for fucking like 3 hours. They were like homies as fuck. Like, we had so much fucking in common, and like, it was just this weird thing that I realized over and over throughout this weekend, that this Juggalo shit is just like totally fucking, it's not even what I thought it was. And in the last video I said I started listening to them in like 97, so this is fucking, you know, 4 years later or whatever, more than that, you know what I'm saying? Fucking like 5 years later or whatever. I don't fucking know. Someone math me in the fucking comments. But anyway, this shit was just crazy to like just talk to these Juggalos and be tight with them, you know what I'm saying? And like have so much in common with these motherfuckers that I would have never met. And if I would have seen them on the streets, you know, if I would have seen them on Halloween, I'd have stolen their bag of candy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if I would have fucking seen them on the streets, I would have made fun of fucking their fucking, I don't know, I would have made fun of something, I'm sure, because I was a fucking dick, you know? But like, I don't know, like, this gathering kind of started to change that I think even the whole mentality of a lot of juggalos, you know what I'm saying? Like, more inclusion, more family, more understanding, you know what I'm saying? It was really crazy, you know? Right as that seminar was gonna fucking start, they opened the doors, and motherfuckers started, like, rushing in. Like, I don't know, man. We almost did not get into that seminar, and that would have been crazy as fuck. But there was like one staff lady, and she was getting ready to pull the door closed, and I just like grabbed my boy, and we just fucking forced in as she was fucking closing the door. We actually had to sit, like there was, you know, like regular fold-up chairs inside there, and me and my boy, he sat on one, I sat on the other. We sat on the back of these chairs while the juggalos sat on like the front and, you know, held the chair down, and we sat on the back and had our feet off to the side and sat there for the entire time that, you know, the seminar went down. And, you know, if you've seen the Sunday seminar or the Saturday seminar, actually, the one that's on DVD, it was really completely different than what happened in the smaller room. They went through the giant stacks of Joker's cards until they got to the Wraith, you know what I'm saying, and told all these cool ass stories leading up to it. But for real, when they showed the Wraith, Shangri-La, and the sixth had come not to a conclusion completely yet, but the images of the sixth were now all in front of you. It was a fucking crazy moment, you know, like, I don't know if any of you all have ever been to like church. I don't know if it's just like a Catholic fucking thing or whatever, where you like hit the peace be with you, you know what I'm saying? Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you shit, you know what I'm saying? Turn to the people around you, give them a little shake, a little blessing or whatever. When Shangri-La when the Wraith was revealed to us, that's what it was. It was like that. Like the ninjas around us, we turned, we hugged, we dapped up. Like, yo, we made it here. You know, we made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. It's happening right now in front of us. You know what I'm saying? I think about that moment all the time, and then every time I tell that it is like it was such a magical fucking moment. Like, again, you know, that's when it was family, you know, like we were more than just these fans of, you know, these rappers or whatever. We were more than just juggalos, even, you know, like we were a motherfucking family. We were a fucking unit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really hit me sitting inside that seminar. I only knew one person in that whole fucking room, and turned to those other people like I had known them for, you know, however many years before that. Like, we've all been part of this journey together, and we were seeing it right then and there. I don't know, man. That shit was fresh as fuck. I really can't think of anything fresher than that. And then when we all piled out of that fucking room, I had stood on this chair looking for my boy. My boy had fucking like green bandana or rubber bands in his hair. It was pretty easy, you'd think, to find him or whatever. So I'm standing up on this chair, and I see him, and I jump just right off the fucking chair. And sure enough, I run literally jump off the chair, boom, into Shaggy Toot-Up as he's coming out of the fucking room, of the seminar room or whatever. He's like, oh, it's all good, money, fucking. And I was like, holy shit, I just fucking, like, my fat 15-year-old ass just fucking jumped off this chair and smashed into fucking Zoot-Up. It was funny as fuck, bro. Like, it was cool as hell. But I saw my boy, ran up to him, we fucking hugged up again, like, yo, dog, like, the fucking sixth, the Wraith, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like we had, like, I don't even know if I had a cell phone then, you know what I'm saying? So I think we might have just been there fucking winging it, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I had a cell phone to use until like 2003. So I don't know what happened with that shit. But I feel like if we did, man, it would have been so fresh to call back home, be like, dog, it's called the fucking Wraith Shangri-La and Hellspit. Juggalos go to Shangri-La, bro. Everyone else go to Hellspit. You gotta avoid Hellspit, dog. I don't know, it was fresh, bro. Like, that shit was just cool as fuck. And that was really like, you know, that was day one. I really don't even need to get into the performances of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd already saw almost everyone who performed throughout the whole weekend that I wanted to see. I'd saw before, except for Isham, ended up filling in. I think for like Kitty later on throughout the weekend, that was probably my first time seeing Isham. But everybody else I had seen already at that point. They'd already done the Hatchet Rising tour the year before, so like everybody was on that fucking tour then too, you know what I'm saying? So I'd already saw everybody. Like, seeing the shows really wasn't that fresh. I'll talk about some of the shows that happened later on the weekend though, but just being there, you know, the first day and seeing all that as a 15-year-old, and seeing his first gathering, I don't know, man, that shit was just, it was just crazy as fuck. It's really like, I don't know what else to say, like, about how much just that one day really changed, you know, everything. The way that I looked at everything, the perspective I have of everything, of even this Juggalo shit now today. Like I was saying, throughout this video, I am kind of just telling things that, like, I don't know, just really impacted me, or were like big memorable things for me. Even one of the guys that had stopped and sold us a tire on Friday, or tried to give us a tire on Friday, ended up selling us some bud, you know what I'm saying? And he was from New York, so it was some New York sour diesel. It's the first time I ever had sour diesel. Probably one of my favorite strains to this day. Is that why? Maybe. But this Ninja, it was the first night for sure, because we sat up in like the arena part of where the show was going to be at, and from there you could see, like, from the side of the stage, and you could see the stuff that they were going to have for the stage that night. It was fucking dope as fuck. Dude sold me a bag, and then smoked a joint with us. Like, he rolled up a joint so we could try it or whatever, and then bounced and just never got the cash from me. And I was like, yo, shit. And he just already dipped off. I ended up seeing him later in the weekend and squared it away, but like, it kind of sucked to see him later in the weekend, because then I already blew what very little money that I had, and when I seen him on Sunday, I was still able to like give it my last fucking butt bit, but he didn't really fucking charge me much for how much money he gave us back then. That was Juggalo shit too, and that's something that I always get back on when I tell these gathering stories. I've been to a ton of fucking gatherings, but like, before like 2011, I went to every one of those gatherings like barely fucking making it, you know what I'm saying? Like, just enough to get by, maybe just enough food, just enough hydration to survive. I definitely wasn't taking good care of myself like I do at gatherings now. I definitely wasn't as prepared for a lot of those gatherings either, whether it be financially, supply wise, or whatever. But just like all things, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you know, same thing with life, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to get better at it, I guess, apparently too, you know. So I remember one of the first times that I stayed at a hotel gathering after Peoria. So it would have been every gathering that I went to after Peoria until the 17th annual 2016. Until 2016, I'd camped every fucking gathering from Peoria then, you know what I'm saying? And when I got a hotel for the 17th annual, I remember seeing a bunch of my homies and like, oh, did your helicopter drop you off? Are you nice and fresh? And I'm like, bitch, the hotel that I'm staying at, my fucking air conditioner is leaking a puddle into the floor. The room next to it has a fucking battering ram thing smashed into it. There's a fucking stripper boot on top of my fucking roof, you know what I'm saying? The fucking toilet's backed up into the fucking bathtub the night before and had to fucking get all repaired and shit while we were there. I definitely wasn't staying at a fucking Ritz-Carlton, motherfuckers. Chill out. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? The progression from 2002 to just even the latest in 2024 has been pretty great, you know what I'm saying? So Juggalos, if you're struggling at your first couple, you know, as you get up there, you'll be alright, you know what I'm saying? But you know, back to 2002, like I said, you know, I'm really kind of only telling stories that just really did, you know, that were important to me, you know. Saturday was crazy as fuck. At the Gathering of the Juggalos, if you guys are aware of what happened Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, at the Gathering of the Juggalos, you know, again, I was 15 years old. I'd done some things up until this point, but like at this point it was pretty fucked up as this happened, you know what I'm saying? This is like, I don't know, my mom obviously probably didn't want me to go. It's 15, and then to hear this shit that happened, she was probably like, oh my god, what the fuck, you know? But I have pictures somewhere. I don't know if I'd even be able to show them. I was moved sometime, and I lost a bunch of stuff from the 2002 gathering, which sucks, you know what I'm saying? But I was right there as it happened. I was taking pictures and everything with my little fucking disposable cameras that I had. More on that disposable cameras here in a second. But I was there taking pictures, and this girl, you know, she went to go blast the breasts, you know what I'm saying? Give a little titty show to the jugs, you know what I'm saying? And as soon as she did that, this cop fucking swooped her up, and her boyfriend, like, you know, started to fight off with them. So I even had a fucking dope ass picture. I hope I can find these again, you know what I'm saying? But of like the security guard or the cop or security guard that was working in there, they had like taken them into like a police station room that was right there. And for as he was like closing the door on them, he turned around with his mace and he was getting ready to like spray all of us or whatever. And I had that fucking, it was like a fucking professional photography camera or shot out of a fucking disposable shit, because it just happened to be right there. But like it seemed like all this shit happened so fast, you know. Like next thing you know, fucking the Peoria Police Department's like SWAT team are running in that bitch with paintball guns full of pepper spray pellets, and they're shooting them at the fucking walls, and everyone's running trying to clear out, and they're mobilized on this bitch to shut the motherfucking thing down. As I'm running out, me and my boy had split up, you know what I'm saying? Because this shit was happening like as we were coming down a staircase, you know. So me and my boy had got split up again, and he got pushed one way, I got pushed another, and I started running down this hall, and like literally as I was like kind of deciding which way I was gonna go or which way I was gonna run out, fucking you could see the dude, the police shooting the fucking paintball shits. I got fucking hit in my motherfucking leg, but I had my disposable camera in my Dickies third pocket or whatever, and that shit fucking hit it, but fucking dusted my ass, you know what I'm saying? And these juggalos, this big fucking juggalo, a couple of them, pulled me into a fucking bathroom where fucking bunch of other juggalos in there were fucking dying, bro, fucking scrubbing my motherfucking face. They fucking wrapped my fucking face in a fucking wet t-shirt, were fucking rubbing shit off of my fucking face and all that shit, fucking throwing water on my motherfucking face and my mouth and all that. It really wasn't that bad, luckily. But then they helped me get out to the outside area, and when we got outside, just all the motherfucking juggalos were out there. And again, this, you know, everyone had their fucking hair like this. I couldn't find my boy. Everyone who I would think was my boy wasn't my boy. It probably took like an hour to be able to find my homie Frankie while we were out there. The shit was crazy as fuck, you know. People were calling home, telling their parents what was happening, telling, you know, call your mom shit, you know. It was wild. They probably shut down the gathering for most of the rest of the day, and then when they opened back up, they had printed out, I think this was the same day. I feel like it had to have been, you know what I'm saying? But I don't fucking, if I'm fucking it up, Juggalos correct me, but I did kind of look at a timeline. I felt like I'm doing it right. But when they let everybody back in, there was like these printed signs everywhere, like, you know, this event had been cut, ICP's seminar has now been moved, and they moved it into this big old fucking room. Like, it wasn't the concert room, it was just a big ass fucking room. And me and my homie kind of, the day had been long or whatever, so we got ourselves into the ICP seminar, and we got seats this time, and we were able to sit down there. We sat there for a while waiting for the fucking seminar to start. One of the cool things, and I don't know, like, if this was just juggalos or if this was some psychopathic ninja training shit, you know what I'm saying? Feats of strength type shit, but these balls started getting, inflatable balls, or like, I don't know, like the ones that would have like fucking like inflatable bouncy ball type shits, you know what I'm saying? First there was like a couple that were going, then there was a couple more, and then a few more, and they're just getting thrown and bounced around this fucking room, so you're really having to pay attention. And then, we think ICP's coming on already, or the seminar's gonna start because the light's dim, and the ball's still going, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's fucking, oh shit, boom, where you catch one and then fucking try to throw it into the air, then two is hit somewhere. But then that ICP seminar did start. That was like, that's the one you could watch. That one was fresh as fuck. The big old fucking giant joint that they smoke and all that, man. Like, I don't know, that was, just seeing it again, it was a completely different seminar. Violent J might have said some of the same things, but that seminar is dope as fuck, Violent J has a lot of cool sound bites from that seminar. On Fro, if you guys know Fro, on his White Lighter tape, I used a sample from Violent J and that shit, just because that seminar is dope as fuck. You go back and watch that seminar and just feel Like, I don't know, just the energy was so dope. Just, it was just so fresh to be able to see 2 of those seminars and see the 6 Joker's card. And like, for those juggalos who weren't in the smaller room and were in that bigger room that day, like me and my boy waiting for them then to see the Wraith now. You know, we had saw it already, we know what it looks like and shit. And now they're gonna see it. And it's gonna be that moment all over again where all these juggalos just freak out all over again because they're seeing the Wraith, the 6 Joker's card, you know what I'm saying? At the end of that seminar, they threw those fucking cards into the crowd. My boy got a piece of it. I went in and fucking racked my fucking... I'm lucky my head didn't split open how hard I hit this motherfucker's head, bro. If it wouldn't have been the fucking... the front top of my skull, my shit probably would have been fucking split open if it was the side. Because me and the juggalo just went boom, fucking boom. Oh, fuck, that shit sucked. I still remember that vividly to this day then, too, man. My fucking head hurt like a bitch after that. But that was fresh as fuck, you know, like, then to be able to watch that seminar on DVD and still be able to watch it now, you know what I'm saying, is, I don't know, it's dope as fuck. To be able to show my son that seminar now, you know, after being there, was cool as fuck. I don't know if any footage of the other seminar exists. Juggalos, if you know about it, send that shit my way. I'd love to see that again, you know. I'd love to see really any footage of 2002's Gathering of the Juggalos, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think, really, it was so much harder to have footage, and you either had like big old fucking cameras or that fucking high 8 shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? One of the ones that I had were the little fucking small VHS boys. But you had to have something like that, you know what I'm saying, to get video back then. So I'd love to see any video that exists from that Gathering Juggalos. If you have it, link it up. Hopefully I got some behind me that you guys are watching now. Sunday, I guess, is known for some shenanigans, and also, you know, again, I'm not gonna talk about every fucking performance that I saw. They were fresh. It was gathering shit, you know. First time going to a gathering, being able to see these performances was dope as fuck. But plenty of these artists I had seen before, you know. But that night, which was like, it's kind of weird to think about it, and I guess not after, you know, some of the things that, you know, Psychopathic has done. But they had Bubba Sparks perform at the Gathering this year, and I can't remember Bubba Sparks' like hit song or whatever. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but Bubba Sparks was there. I'm not sure if anyone was really even like feeling it or whatever to begin with, but it got off to a really bad start, you know what I'm saying? Like, his DJ came out for like, it seemed like, you know, again, I don't fucking know, but it seemed like, you know, a half fucking hour. The DJ was out there and he's like, yo, you ready for Bubba Sparks? Yo, who's ready for Bubba Sparks? You know, like, over and over. Hey, give it up for Bubba Sparks! And Bubba Sparks didn't come out, man. So people were not fucking feeling that shit. And when Bubba Sparks came out, bro, like, when I say people were throwing everything, like, now, at the Gathering, you could have everything nowadays, but, like, you know, you didn't have everything then. But Juggalos were throwing, like, everything. Like, it was in an arena, so there was, like, where you have the condiments of, like, fucking onion and fucking relish and shit. Motherfuckers were throwing that shit. There was full-ass, the bathroom toilet paper rolls flying and shit, like, everything possible, you know what I'm saying? So when Bubba Sparks came out extra disrespectful and was already late, man, the Juggalos just were not fucking with that shit. And to see it firsthand, again, you know, 15 years old, I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy as fuck. You know, however many people were inside, it was a giant ass arena, you know what I'm saying? And we're just unruly as fuck, you know, like, that shit was dope, man. So Bubba Sparks really learned a lesson then. And honestly, who's fucking heard of Bubba Sparks since 2002, you know what I'm saying? Fucking come the 21st day of July, 2022, rapper Bubba Sparks went missing, never to be seen again. Like, I don't know, it's just funny as fuck, man. So, like, shout out to that. Shout out to everybody who remembers that shit, you know what I'm saying? That shit's, you know, that was legendary, you know. Some talk about all these other artists who might have got it bad or whatever, but hey, Bubba Sparks might have been the first. You know what I'm saying? So there should be some kind of award for that, you know what I'm saying? The Bubba Sparks. People call it, oh, getting Tila Tequila, but really it should be called getting Bubba Sparked, getting Bubbaed, you know what I'm saying? Or getting sparked, you know, like, that's the first person that I know it happened to. I don't know what the previous 2 or whatever gatherings before that, but I know at this gathering, Bubba Sparks got violently booed off stage and has never been seen from again, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, chalk that up any way you want to. Juggalos, the Bubba Sparks Award, you know, every year almost we've had one since. So I feel like that's what I'm gonna call that shit. I didn't see the tequila incident, and I don't know if I necessarily agreed with it or whatever. But you know, Bubba Sparks, bitch. You got Bubba Sparks, bitch. That's what I'll say. Shit. But ICP did perform that night. They performed, you know, that we'll never die alone, man. Like hearing that as ICP were closing off, and then just seeing this giant fucking Wraith Shangri-La picture silhouette behind them, man, that shit was just so fucking cool. That song was like, it's called like Murder Rap or whatever. I don't like, we'll never die alone. Juggalo will carry on. Swing our hatchets if we must. Each and every one of us. Yo, that song and Gang Related were probably like two of the biggest fucking tracks at that gathering. It was just dope to hear Gang Related through the speakers and hear that fucking murder rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, those songs just kind of like remind me of the gathering, whatever. Fresh as fuck. Because they just had music like playing throughout the thing. It was cool, man. I don't know. Like, it's my first fucking gathering. Like, the way things have changed since then, and how many I've been to since then, and they're all special. They're all different. You know, we talk about that all the time when we talk about the gathering, on the road to the gathering, the Juggalos, you know, series that we do on the Weekly Wicked Webshow, or standalone videos that we talk about, like last year, talking about like Darby and Shaggy their headsets and stuff. You know, like every gathering is special in their own way. For real, like, you know, this one definitely is my first one, so it holds a special spot in my heart for sure. You know, again, you know, I was 15 years old that night. I told my sister that we were gonna go out after the gathering, so we wanted to go to like the main hotel where like everyone was partying. Back then we didn't know fucking anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like in the community, you know, there's probably people who knew each other and shit, but the community wasn't like, you know, even as big and strong. So like you wouldn't just like run into a juggalo you met on Twitter or whatever that you could kick it with, you know what I'm saying? So here, me and my boy who was like 16 or 17 at the time, I was like 15, we were just out there, you know, fucking, we went to this hotel, walking around, just saying what's up to juggalos, you know, a couple people let us in, we smoked with a couple people. I remember being hungry as fuck, man, and there was a vending machine, of course, you know, the hotel, but like everything good was gone. But there was some payday candy bars in that bitch, and like I was like, hey, you know, peanuts at least give you energy or whatever. So whatever fucking money I had left, you know what I'm saying, grabbed a fucking like 3 or 4 payday bars out of there. Me and my homie ate these payday bars and just felt, you know, fucking good, you know, the rest of the night. So that's low-key how paydays became my favorite candy bar, you know what I'm saying? But that was dope, man. We kicked it around that hotel, talked to a couple of juggalos, but like you said, it's not like how it is now, you know what I'm saying? I really don't even remember anyone too much that I had met, you know, name-wise, or besides Red Wolf, you know, and I was able to see him within the next 2 years at the one of the other gatherings that I went to, and then in the future we started talking, you know what I'm saying? So there might have been juggalos that I met that day, the nerds in line, or the juggalos that smoked with us in the hotel, or the juggalos that fucking washed my face off in the bathroom. You know, I probably seen them before, but we just didn't know, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit changed a lot over those next couple of years. I was like, you know, like I said, I was just 15, so things had changed for me over the next, you know, however many years or whatever. That was just, and it was dope as fuck to think, you know, luckily even to be able to be there, to be 15, luckily to be able to raise up the money and my mom be down. Like, big shout out to my mom, because she's supported me in this juggalo shit really for like ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't like it in the beginning. That's what's crazy, and that's what's funny about it, is my mom really didn't like it, but she's always supportive, you know. My dad was there when I got my first CD. My dad's never really knocked it. Like, my dad, he saw one time that ICP loved having Slim Jims on their tour bus or whatever, so he bought me like these canned Slim Jim shit. So my parents have always just been down about it, you know. And I didn't live with my dad for, you know, years and years, but that would be like his way to connect on it. Yo, I got you some Fago, or I got you these Slim Jims, you know what I'm saying? He'd always call them the Clown Posse, you know, because I know the Clown Posse be messing with that stuff. So shout out to my parents for being supportive on it, and letting me, you know, from the time I was 12 and 15, leave the States to go to this shit, you know what I'm saying? go to the Shangri-La tour then twice in 2003 with the homies, you know what I'm saying? That was fresh too, coming back from the 2002 gathering and going back home. Like, Jiggy Fresh went the following year to his first one, so maybe you guys will hear that story then shortly after this. But Jiggy went to 2003. I didn't get to go that year for various reasons that maybe will be a lore video in itself, you know what I'm saying? But in 2003, Jiggy got to go his first time, but like definitely us telling the story, coming back, me and my homie Frankie going back there, and for like the next several days just talking about the gathering to the homies, you know what I'm saying, and what we saw and what we did, and the new music that's gonna come out, and the new music that is coming out, and the stories that we heard, and the people that we met, like that shit. Just like we were already preaching the carnival, we were already preaching this Juggalo shit, and we were already having like a bunch of homies get down, but like we witnessed something different at the 2002 gathering. We witnessed, obviously, first and foremost, it was our first gathering, but like there was a different vibe and a different era began. Began the Diamond Rain era, began the fucking family era really coming out of around that time, you know what I'm saying? So to come back home and tell everybody, what we're doing is Juggalo shit, but bro, people are doing this Juggalo shit differently everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And that's what's making this family, that there's so many of us, that we come from all walks of life, and we're all shapes and sizes, we're all different colors, you know what I'm saying? And the carnival and this Juggalo shit has continued to be like that, even all the way as far as now. I'm talking to you in 2025, like that was 2002, and how much this shit has changed. I really believe that a lot of it was there at the 2002 gathering, seeing the Wraith Shangri-La, seeing Hell's Pit, shut up, Max. Shangri-La coming out that year, and everything, and the end of Shangri-La, truth is we follow God, and we've always been behind him, like that shit was never like corny to me or unexpected to me or a turn off to me when ICP did that, because really you were kind of hearing that kind of message throughout the whole time. And I know Jiggy could speak more on theology than me, but I've always considered myself, interested in theology, not just the religions that I grew up knowing or whatever, but everything, and how the carnival, how everything's God, you know what I'm saying? And God's different in so many different belief systems. So the carnival being God, the carnival provides, I dig that. And I never, when that era came, it was dope as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, oh, we need to go believe in God. It was like, believe in the carnival. If you don't want to live by this fucking book, you want to live by these standards of this or whatever, apply the same shit that this Juggalo shit's about: being open-minded, being forgiving, punishing the fucking people who deserve it, the bigots, the fucking abusers, the fucking thieves, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. That the carnival is God, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go too much off on that tangent, but like I just felt like that whole era and how everything kind of came ushered in from the 2002 gathering, from the unveiling of the Six, like really changed things, to come out of the Wicked Clown era, the fucking every possible thing era, to fuck the things that I hate era were much better, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather fuck the things that I hate than fuck everything. I don't know, man. I hope that gave you some kind of some idea of what it was like for me at my first gathering of Juggalos, what it's done for me as the way that I look at Juggalos and the whole community, the whole family as a whole now, like it really changed from then, and it really, I don't know, I think it changed for the better, and it's been evolving ever since, and I love the state of things today. And we couldn't have got there if it wasn't from shit like that, from enduring riots, from having the gatherings inside, you know what I'm saying? Really, after that, we knew that the gathering could never be inside again. We couldn't abide by state laws. There had already been so much shit that happened the first, 3, so after that, they had to go outside, so I think Jiggy's story of telling his first would be awesome, because it was also the first one outside, you know what I'm saying? So everything changed then. But man, I hope you guys dig these stories. More to come. If you're liking them, man, share. Well, you really can't share this with anybody right now, but tell some people that they want to watch more. Have them fucking watch from your account or whatever. Just these stories are to help y'all kind of, I don't know, understand us a little bit more, get to know us a little bit more, know who you guys are watching on a regular basis or whatever. We're all in this together. We're all the same. Our story is just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Again, just like with the last one, I'd love to hear all your guys' stories. For this, I'd love to hear your gathering stories. You guys know the emails to tell those stories at. If not, I'll put it in the description and shit. But as always, man, much motherfucking love. Hope you guys enjoyed this shit. If you guys have any questions, you guys want to talk more about this, hit me up in the chat, hit me up in the DM or whatever. But until next time, BobeBlaze with TeamMUJ. This is another little story time.